from the shadows of the radio towers, this is the GayPHX Podcast, your community radio on demand.
It's gonna be a good day, and everything is going to go my way. It's gonna be a good day. The sun is shining bright and it's here to stay.
Howdy, Phoenix. Welcome in. Whether you're listening in the car, in the kitchen, or sneaking a moment to yourself, we're really glad you're here. I'm Billy Foster, and this week is one of those full tilt weeks for our community, the kind that reminds you how much life is happening around us right now. Before we look ahead, we want to say thank you. First Friday was powerful. The energy at Railroad Dogs wasn't just fun, it was affirming. Thank you to the Queer Center, the Arizona Men of Leather, the Southwest Leather Family, 1 in 10, and everyone who showed up and helped create a night that felt connected and alive. Saturday kept the momentum going. Dirty Bits was absolutely unhinged in the best way, and celebrating 1-year anniversary of Chrome surrounded by community was one of those moments that really sticks with you. Not one venue, not one event, just people choosing joy together. In February is Black History Month, and each week we intentionally honor a Black queer voice whose work continues to shape how we think about identity, power, and community. This week, we're honoring Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde was a Black lesbian poet, writer, and activist who refused to live her life in pieces. She wrote openly and unapologetically about race, gender, sexuality, motherhood, illness, and power, not as separate struggles, but as a reality that overlap in real people's lives. She changed the idea that silence keeps us safe, famously reminding us that your silence will not protect you. Her work called us out to speak, to name injustices, and to understand that difference is not something to fear, it's something to recognize, honor, and often learn from. Audre Lorde believed that community is built when we show up fully, without shrinking ourselves, to make others comfortable. That kind of courage, to be visible, to be honest, and to insist on joy and survival at the same time is a legacy we carry forward this month. And that spirit of showing up runs straight through what's ahead this week. It's bowling tournament week. It's gay rodeo week. Arizona Men of Leather has events all 3 days at Anvil. And yes, it's Friday the 13th and Valentine's Day. Before we get to all of that, we also need to let you know that this Thursday, Loteria at Thunderbird Lounge. It's free, it's fun, and it's also your last chance to win tickets into IBC. They're giving away passes to all kinds of great events, and we'll be there helping call out around, hanging out. So come on out and say hi. Coming up in just a bit, you're going to hear conversations centered on gay rodeo, what it really is, and how it creates leadership and chosen family, and why it continues to matter in Arizona. And if you've ever been curious or thought it wasn't your scene, stay with us. We're rolling straight towards IBC, and this week is the final push. So stick around. The stream is packed with community voices, and we're really glad you're listening to the podcast. And now, let's pass it over to Brian for his Hot 3.
You're listening to GayPHX, where community comes first.
Hey, it's your Desert Den Daddy, Brian, checking the pulse of the valley and confirming that this weekend is already unbuttoning its shirt. Valentine is flirting, rodeo is stomping its boots, and leather season is stretching before it commits to anything serious. This is not a grab and drink and head home kind of weekend. This is bodies leaning closer so you can hear better. This is laughter breaking rules, playlists getting reckless, and eye contact lasting just a beat too long to be accidental. It's dice hitting table, cards being pulled, hands being raised, and spotlights find you when you swore you were just observing. From the shadows of the radio towers, this is Brian's Hot 3, where glitter is applied with confidence. Innuendo does cardio, and I'll just stop by becomes the lie you tell yourself just before the night makes other plans. If you're looking for connection, curiosity, or a reason to stay out past midnight, whether there's a soft place to land, a hard place to stare, or a spark you didn't know you needed, Daddy's got options. So let's get into it. This is Hot Pick number 1, Anvil. Rodeo and Valentine weekend kickoff, leather happy hour, and lucky buckaroo. Friday, February 13th at 6 p.m. This is Arizona's Men of Leather's Hearts and Spur weekend, and Anvil kicks the doors open. Leather, luck, and just the right amount of mischief. Leather happy hour roundup, 6 to 8 p.m. Start the weekend easy and intentional with a relaxed leather social wrapped in Western Bordello flair. Whorehouse decor sets the tone, complimentary foot-long hot dogs, and chili keep it grounded, and the vibe stays open, social, and welcoming, with room for demos or performances to tease what's ahead. This is about reconnecting, catching up, and easing into the energy together. Then at 10 p.m., things take a turn. Lucky Buckaroo monthly calendar contest, 10 o'clock, hosted by Ben Calderon, Mr. Anvil Phoenix 2025. Lucky Buckaroo leans hard into Friday 13th superstition with a little fate and a little skin, and a lot of late night heat. Expect calendar contest judging for Anvil's March poster, themed surprises, a tarot card reading on site, and energy that officially flips the weekend from arriving to underway. One night, two very different moods, both very intentional. Hot pick number 2, Anvil, Bound and Bucked, Anvil Parking Lot Party, Saturday, February 14th at 8 p.m. Valentine night goes full throttle as Arizona Men of Leather takes over the Anvil parking lot for Bound and Bucked, a bold outdoor Western kink party built to turn heads and keep bodies moving. Planned features include a mechanical bull, outdoor BDSM dungeon, live demos throughout the night, vendors, boot blacks, and a dedicated jail cell experience, and a separate blackout area for play for those who prefer fewer lights and fewer questions. This is the centerpiece of the weekend, visually loud, physically engaging, and designed for exploration of every comfort level. Come dress Western, come dress leather, come ready to stay longer than you planned. Hot pick number 3, Anvil, Leather Trading Post and Happy Trail Beer Bus, Sunday, February 15th at 1 o'clock. After a weekend that goes big, Saturday afternoon brings it back to community. The Leather Trading Post and Happy Trail Beer Bus is where you slow the pace without losing the connection. Browse the leather swap meet and enjoy the beer bus and grab complimentary burgers and sides while catching on side stage performances and demos. There'll be drawings tied to weekend fundraising, plus key announcements, including the judges for Mr. Anvil Phoenix 2026 and the opening of contestants' applications. This is where stories get swapped, goodbyes get longer, and next plans start forming before this one is even over. And let's be clear, Rodeo Weekend and Valentine Weekend and the leather events are popping up everywhere across the valley. This is just Daddy's top 3. For the full rundown of bars, parties, shows, and everything in between, check out GayPHX and build it for your own like you mean it. Until next time, coming to you from the shadows of the radio tower, I'm Brian, your Desert Den Daddy, and that's what's hot.
Want all the details? Head over to GayPHX.com, your one-stop shop for queer events, promos, and everything happening in the valley.
This is what community sounds like.
This is Amanda Renfrew, enrolled agent with The Tax Person, with your tax year countdown. Most FSA balances expire at year end. Use remaining funds for therapy, glasses, dental care, or prescriptions before they disappear on December 31st. Get support with a free 15-minute consult at thetaxperson.com or look for me as The Tax Person on socials.
More stories, more voices, more pride. You're tuned in to the GayPHX Podcast.
Today on GayPHX, we're stepping into a conversation that's pure Arizona. Dust on your boots, pride on your posture, and a whole lot of heart behind the scenes. With gay rodeo season right around the corner, we're talking about a tradition built on competition, inclusion, and chosen family. One that brings together athletes, volunteers, title holders, community members of all walks of life. And if you've ever wondered how gay rodeo creates space for leadership, service, and connection, or why community continues to matter so much, this conversation's for you. Deeply involved in the Arizona gay rodeo community and also part of the extended Charlie's family, we're happy to welcome to the rainbow tinted microphone, Shannon McKenzie. Oh, Shannon, thank you for coming. I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh my gosh. Hi. That's such a fun fanfare. Welcome. Thank you so much.
So for someone brand new to gay rodeo, how would you describe it at its core?
At its core, I would describe gay rodeo as something that started as a fundraiser for the Imperial Court, and it ended up becoming a protest. Its very first iteration was a protest, and now it is a widespread sporting and volunteer extravaganza all over the country, and it's preserving Western lifestyle, but bringing it into the forefront of gay culture and showing the world that we can do things a little more sparkly sometimes, but we can definitely do it for a purpose. And I think that it's really inspirational if you really get to know what it's all about.
What makes it different than what someone would expect from the term rodeo?
We are an amateur rodeo, but we are a part of the rodeo competitive circuit, so we're very legitimized within the rodeo community. I would say what makes it different is that we are an all-inclusive environment. We don't tolerate any sort of hate or prejudice at our events. We're very inclusive, and that means that we do have allies who are competitors as well. And so it's a really interesting place to bridge the gap between the two communities through sportsmanship and also volunteerism. So even our volunteers, some are allies, some are members of the community, and we're all joining for the same cause. And it's a really cool way to bridge the gap. So that, to me, that's what makes it different. A traditional rodeo is very traditional, heteronormative, super hyper masculine, the traditional roles of the women and male. In our rodeo, we can all compete against each other. It's not about the genders.
I see. Now, Arizona has a strong rodeo legacy. We are the Wild West. What does that history mean to our community today?
I think that, especially in Arizona, I was a kid who went to rodeos with my parents. They were vendors. They had a T-shirt booth, and their best friends had a photo booth, and we would pose for the pictures on this little fake horse to get the kids to come. And so I was really around a lot of that as a child. And I think that the foundation of our food supply is really the farmers, and they've been going through so much in our country. And so we need to, how would I put it? I would say you need the rural community to be represented as well as the city folk, if you will.
Right.
Because we're everywhere. And in some communities, we're even less understood and accepted. And I think traditionally the rural populations have more challenge with acceptance. And so it's, for some of these folks, it's super brave to be at the gay rodeo. It's a big, I think, putting your foot down kind of thing. I don't know how to put it any other way.
It's making a statement.
Yeah, we make a statement.
And I say, it's always interesting me because people come up to me, they say, thank you for living your best life. And I didn't for the longest time understand, but now I understand because there are people that can't, that want to, but can't because of whatever reason, because of their living situation, because of their employment, because of our current political climate.
Yeah. And I think within the Western culture, there's a lot of shame, and I don't like to approach it too much in a public forum, of course, talking about these things, but there's a lot of shame that is bred into us, especially in a more conservative family, and the rural lifestyle is traditionally more conservative. We have a lot of people in our community who are raised very conservatively, and so to have a community that makes it feel like home and the home that we were raised in, but is more true to who we are, is absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm touched every year. I get so emotional, especially on the Friday night dance. Like, when I get to see the couples dancing together, that just always moves me. I think there's something about our culture that doesn't allow us to be romantic within the gay identity. It's all over-sexualized. And so when you go to these events where two boys are doing the country waltz or the two-step, and it's just, to me, it's just this absolutely beautiful thing. And I wish the world could just be like that. And I know that might be an idealistic way of thinking, but
we need that though, right? We need that inspiration. Yeah. Even if it is kind of Pollyanna-ish, because people say that sometimes about me. You really have a Pollyanna-ish view. And I'm like, yes, because I want to have that pure view, because I need to know that at some point it could be attainable so that we can be the best of that we can be, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that it's important to be able to express all the parts of you. And there's the kinky side and there's the romantic side. Everyone has all these facets to themselves. And so if all of our events are just geared towards over-sexualization, sometimes we want to be romantic too, and sometimes we want to be, there's lots of different ways that we can be.
Right.
And to me, a lot of the rodeo events for me evoke that nostalgia and also the feeling that it's okay to have a crush rather than just like a hookup. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know that sounds funny, but it takes you back to a simpler time, especially since it's a family-friendly event and you're seeing these community members doing all this amazing sportsmanship, first of all, and then you're seeing all the volunteers. It's just a beautiful event that I think if you haven't been, you should go. But it's also quite a party. Like, it depends on how you want to approach it.
So I do have a rodeo story.
Oh,
I barely have a rodeo story. I am not much of a drinker. And someone had the brilliant idea for us to ride in a private bus to hit all the bars and then go to the rodeo and hang out. And we're down for it. We're like, all right, cool. That was a big mistake.
I feel like
think
that's
we
the
were at the
challenge.
rodeo for a half hour.
Yeah, that sounds like you definitely had quite a day.
But the 30 minutes that we were at the rodeo were incredible.
There's a lot going on at the rodeo. From the moment you enter, there's an indoor pavilion of vendors with entertainment going on from start to finish. There's the arena and that's to the other side, and you can hear all the crowd cheering. And like last year, our rodeo went all the way till 8 p.m. and the arena was full. And it was I was outside because I'm at the volunteer tent, and it was definitely very invigorating. And then we have the whole grassy area that has the games on the green. We have a petting corral. We've got a mechanical bull you can ride. And then we have vendors and food vendors outside. So it is like a mini festival, and it can be very exciting. And if you had that day, I can imagine that it may have been a little overwhelming.
It was. And I have to say, it was nothing like I had expected. Because I have been at other rodeos, and they were just rodeos.
Yeah.
So that's why when I came off the bus in my completely inebriated state, I was literally everywhere. Oh, look at all these sparklies. Oh, look over here. Oh, look over there. Oh, I think we made it to the arena once for 5 seconds. Because there was so much so much other things going on that I didn't know about. I believe there was like a market, if I recall correctly, and a big dance that was going on. I'm just trying to envision it again through the fog of alcohol.
Oh yeah, and if you do want to do the party bus, we do have party bus tickets that are available at Charlie's, and you can take a party bus, but it's not a bar crawl. So there's a big difference.
Right. No, I
But
think
each
we
party
need to
bus
do
is
a party
hosted-
bus versus the bar crawl.
Yeah, the party buses are hosted by an entertainer, and then we have one of our bartenders on the bus as well. We have different themed buses. I think we have a Sinful Studs bus, actually, but I'm not sure if it's sold out. So you can check with Charlie's. They've got tickets for the party buses, and they go every 30 minutes from Charlie's to the rodeo and back on Saturday. And then there's just one, I believe it's like at noon on Sunday.
And is it
if you
several
look at
times a
Charlie's
day,
social
or is it
media-
just one time that they do the trip?
On Saturday, it's several times a day.
Okay.
But you just get one ticket for the bus that you choose at the specific time, and then you can come back on any of the buses that come through. So your ticket to get to the rodeo, that party bus, is a specific time, but then coming home, you can just come back on whichever bus is available at that moment. They come every 30 minutes.
Got it.
So yeah, and then Sunday it's just one, and it has a specific time. I believe it's noon, and then the return time, I'm not quite sure. I'm not the expert on the party bus schedule. However, I can tell you can go onto Charlie's social media, and it's all over the place. So any of Charlie's social media pages.
And that's why they have it all
the
online.
schedule. Exactly. So that's fun. And you get some swag with it. I think you get a t-shirt, you get your entry to the rodeo. You do get to drink on the bus. I believe it's one shot and a drink, or maybe two. I don't know what the rule is, but it's not so much that you can't understand what's happening at the rodeo. You'll definitely be able to enjoy the rodeo a little better. But some people, they just go for the party, and some people go for the sportsmanship. There's really different types of people who enjoy it, but we found that there's something for everyone.
Now, you had mentioned that this got started because of the Imperial Court. Is that correct? So pageantry and the rodeo, help explain that. I don't know this history. Educate me.
Okay, so in Nevada, they were doing fundraisers for Imperial Court. It was during the time when AIDS was really rampant in our community. It was in the 80s. And they decided that they were going to hold a rodeo as one of their fundraisers. And I'm not super familiar with the ins and outs of the imperial court system, but I know that the different title holders within the system do create their own fundraisers, like signature fundraisers for their year. And so the rodeo was, the very first gay rodeo was one of those fundraisers, and it became a signature fundraiser for the Imperial Court in Nevada. And then that's how they founded it. And then it trickled throughout the United States. So that's what happened. And then the very first one they had, the rodeo grounds at the last minute pulled out and said, no, we're not letting you have a gay rodeo. And so they showed up anyway to the barricade, and they had their own little celebratory protest and said, we're here. And then they ended up getting to do it after that. They started working on finding different rodeo grounds that would accept a gay rodeo, because that was a big challenge. And so now we have established, I believe, 14 or 15 associations throughout the United States and Canada. Wow. And yeah, it's really exciting. Even in Arizona, the relationship we have with Corona Ranch is one of a long history and a building of bridges between communities. And that's what is like the foundation. Even just being able to hold a rodeo, you have to be able to convince them that we're okay. I don't know how else to put it.
No, I understand.
And it fortunately, for a lot of us now, the work was done by our elders, and we just have to keep continuing it. But that's the thing that's important right now, is because these traditions come from a time where we had to raise money for our own people. It's important to continue doing that as times change, because times are changing and our different organizations for sure need funding. And so that's why I'm so excited that I've been able to be a part of coordinating all the volunteers and getting to meet all the different organizations that bring me volunteers, because it really is helping me see that we actually do make a difference, specifically just in these small 501c3 organizations within our community. So, sorry, I moved.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how to ask this. Has there been any, with all the political pressures recently, has there been any backlash to Corona Ranch for continuing to host this?
I don't believe there's been backlash for them. I know that we haven't really even had major protesters, at least at ours. We've been really fortunate. One thing about the location is it feels very safe. It's surrounded by a large, huge wrought iron fence that has the security spikes at the top, and there's even hedging around the edges to make it more private. So it really feels like once you're inside, the public can't even see what's going on or even know what's going on. They see our banner, but we don't have anything really showing that it's a huge rainbow event from the street side. So I think that's been to our advantage. But yeah, we haven't had too much. But I know in the beginning, just convincing ranch owners, rodeo ground owners that we were okay was a big deal. And it took us a lot of years to get it streamlined, because our event really grew, which is exciting. And that's why we've been able to give away over $100,000 to charitable organizations for the past few years. And we're hoping to do more. But yeah, we just have a perfect location is all I can say. And it takes a lot of time. There were years that they did it at Rawhide, but they didn't experience the same hospitality. But I'm not going to go there because I wasn't there.
And again, those were different times. We're in a different age, and there's probably different management over there. Things are different.
Yeah. We have a really close personal relationship with the owner and his family, and they even come out to like our banquets and things to support us. So it's been really cool.
That's awesome. Now, what are some responsibilities that come with holding a title in the gay rodeo that people may not realize?
Okay, so one really cool thing that you get to do is you get to travel to different rodeos. And so you have requirements, and the requirements can change because we're a huge association, and every year we have a convention and these things can change. But in my year, I had to go to 2 rodeos that were not my own. and I had to volunteer in an official capacity, which means I had to learn one of the official jobs that is required of the actual rodeo, like happening, the sporting event. And so I learned to be a timer, and I got to experience timing the events in Las Vegas and Denver. And it was super fun. I got to meet all kinds of people. I got to see the legacy of all the people who are also timers and how through the royalty program, they teach the craft to the next generation. And so that's really cool. It's not a title. We don't even call it a pageant. We call it a royalty competition because really your interview is all about knowing enough about gay rodeo to spread the word. And then knowing that you're going to be serving as a volunteer for the next year. And so when you go to these rodeos, you're going to have to volunteer in some kind of capacity. And then as well, you raise money throughout the year to give back to the International Association to keep funding programs that we already have in place. So yeah, those are the responsibilities. Yeah, it's not about being beautiful. It's not about being the most talented or captivating necessarily. It's really about having a heart for service and being a good representative for what we stand for. And what we stand for is raising money for the community through fun Western events that promote the Western lifestyle and the gay lifestyle together.
Now, of course, what you're saying, this proves that volunteers are the backbone of, I assume, every rodeo. What kind of work happened behind the scenes that deserves more recognition?
Oh, wow. I really, first of all, the people that do the setup, that's something nobody sees unless they're there. And it takes 2 days, about Thursday, Friday, to fully set up everything. And it's a lot of grunt work. And so the boys who come out and do that, and there's a couple organizations who do that as well as the Charlie's Boys. And everyone who's a member of the rodeo is invited to come help set up.
And I assume that's stages, the arena, the seating, the different vendor booth areas.
Yes. We have different committees that have different people in charge of each of those departments. And so I'm the volunteer coordinator. So I'm the person who has the booth at the front, make sure everyone gets checked in, and then delegates everyone to the different volunteer posts for their roles. And so there's hundreds of volunteers to organize. Another part of the volunteers that is really important to our event because it has to do with rules and regulations of the venue is the security volunteers. And so we have special areas within the rodeo arena that are a barrier between the public and the backstage of the rodeo arena. And these volunteers are at those specific posts, making sure that nobody crosses the threshold of that particular zone. And they do a really good job. If we have anybody who doesn't have the right badge and ends up in the wrong zone, we get fined. And since I've been the volunteer coordinator, we've never been fined. So I love my security volunteers. And I know that the gay men's chorus does my early morning shift on Saturday because they perform afterwards on the stage later. Yeah.
So we love it when community comes together like that. We get a mix of the different things.
And I definitely get to meet everybody. And I do my best to try to remember who everyone is because I see their names on spreadsheets for months, year after year. However, sometimes faces and names escape me. So if you're a volunteer at our rodeo, please be patient with me. It is a really fun job, but it's also really intense because there's a lot of people coming in all at the same time needing direction. So I do have a team of people helping me at the volunteer tent. So I'm excited. Our Charlie's choreographer is going to be there for the first time helping me. Her name is Lala. So she'll be up there with me.
Very nice. Now, gay rodeo is often described as a chosen family space. What does that look like in practice?
I think the chosen family is very accurate. I think that I didn't know I needed a chosen family until I realized I had one already. And I looked around and I was like, this is what they mean by chosen family. Yeah, it's people that you will be remembered. That's how it feels to me. And I know that's not the happiest way to put it, but to me, I have no children. I'm not married. I don't plan to be doing any of those things anytime soon. I'm a little older, and it's part of that aging in the community thing. We do take care of our elders very much, like we remember them, we appreciate them. Oh gosh, I'm getting a little choked up, but we're there in the good and the bad. We are in communication with people across the country. And when we come together for these events, we're all there. It's not just the Arizona Gay Rodeo Association. It's the International Gay Rodeo Association. That is the big family. And so I know that I can go to any of these towns. I know that I always have someone somewhere. And I don't know if that is a strange way to put it, but it feels really good. And it doesn't really matter if I'm super involved or if I am just a friendly face. Like we're so accepting of people who just are a part of the community and want to be a part of the community together and do good things. And so it's very much a chosen family. It means that we're there good and bad. It means that we're there to lean on. And it also means that we know that we're going to be remembered. When it's all said and done, someone will remember me. If that makes sense.
It does.
Okay.
And I can also relate as far as understanding that sense of community. It sounds like what you're saying is like almost every year the rodeo is a family reunion of sorts.
Very that. Yeah. And we have our yearly convention. We also have something called AGRA University, which happens in Las Vegas during the big sport. There's like the World Gay Sports event, and I'm probably saying it wrong. However, it's a part of that. And so we have a couple different times per year where they're like, everyone comes together. But even these little rodeo weekends, there's some people who go to every single rodeo on the circuit for the entire year. And those people, even more so, are connected in family. And they at each other's ranches and they practice at each other's different places. They share horses, and it's really definitely a family for sure.
Now, for someone who's never attended a gay rodeo, what's the atmosphere really like for them when they walk in the first time?
I would say you should be prepared to be stimulated with all of your senses at once. You're going to see the admissions area. You're going to see the volunteer tent. You're going to be walking through this path where they're going to ID you and give you your bracelet if you are wanting to drink. Immediately to your right, you're going to see the big entertainment area that also has like the marketplace with all the vendors. And then as you walk around the path, you'll see the arena. It's going to be friendly faces. It's going to be very energetic, lots of energy. I would say if you're someone who needs headphones, if you're neurodivergent, I would bring them. They are allowed because it will be loud. It's very loud. Yes. But it depends on what time you come. If you come early in the morning, you can enjoy that little bit of stillness before the calm before the storm.
Right.
And that's really my favorite part. But if you get there in the mid-afternoon, expect it to be similar to getting into Pride at mid-afternoon on a Saturday. It's going to be high energy. It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be friendly faces. And you'll have something to do everywhere you look. There's lots of fun things to do.
And what do you say to someone who's curious but is worried that they don't fit the stereotype?
Oh, I see. No, come as you are. It does not matter. No, no one's gonna ask you for your gay card if that's what you need. Yeah, no. Oh no.
Well, or what if they're even like intimidated by because they don't wear country. They're not country necessarily, but they're curious about rodeo.
That's so funny. Yeah, I never even thought of not feeling like you fit into the country lifestyle. I would say that's fine. Nobody cares what you wear. You can wear whatever you want. This is open, be yourself territory.
That's a part of rodeo.
Yeah, it's very that. And if you decide that you don't feel comfortable because you aren't looking Western enough, I'm sure there's a bandana and a hat somewhere that you can find while
that a
you're
vendor
there.
will provide at a nominal fee.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots of different versions of that, I'm sure, throughout the entire event. Yeah, definitely.
If anything, they can get their cowboy drag on there, right?
Yeah, that too. I have seen people like experiment with fashion because it's rodeo. And I think that is part of one of the fun things about our community is that is always, expression
Always a
through
part of
fashion
it.
is always allowed. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things because I love fashion. But I think if you are intimidated by the idea that you won't fit in, that is absolutely not true because this is one of those places where you can be whoever you want to be. Be yourself. You can show up in a 3-piece suit and people will be like, that is a great suit. Are you performing today? Just kidding.
It must be
But I
really
mean,
hot in that.
you must be really hot. I do tell people dress for the weather and remember that even if it feels cool, if the sun's out, you need that sunscreen. A hat is always a good idea. Definitely, if you are thinking about what you're going to wear, that's important. Dress for the weather. Pay attention to what it says. You might need a hoodie in the morning and wrap it around your waist in the afternoon. So be prepared for that February weather that can't make up its mind.
Right. That feels like weather everywhere else in the world rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's one misconception about gay rodeo that you wish people would finally let go of?
That's a very interesting question because I'm not sure that there are a lot of misconceptions anymore because we've done a really good job of promoting the gay rodeo ever since the pandemic. But I would say one misconception would be that it's only for people who compete in rodeo, because it's definitely not. I wouldn't even say that I would have ever predicted that I would have joined the Arizona Gay Rodeo Association, even though I'd been exposed to rodeo. And that would be because I just thought it was somebody else's group. I'd be like,
Right.
oh, that's the rodeo people over there. But once I joined it and I started going to the events, it made me realize that, yeah, it's not just about people who actively participate in the rodeo competing side. It's really about people who have a heart for the community and love to create relationships and create opportunities to support the community in all kinds of different ways. And to me, that's something that I hope everybody can get to experience on that deeper level of service, not just participation. Though participation is really fun, going to the rodeo, seeing the events, even competing. I would say that's not necessarily for everyone. Some people really love to serve. And for those people who love to serve, rodeo is a great place.
Now, how do partnerships with community spaces and nightlight help support rodeo? And then it seems like it's also cyclical because the money that rodeo raised then goes back to some of the different programs, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a number of organizations that have volunteered their time for years. We have new ones that pop up. We have a link on our website that you can click that goes directly to the volunteer coordinator, and that's me. And I find different time slots and availability. Say, for example, a group isn't available this year, then that time slot becomes open, and I schedule one of the groups that has sent an inquiry. And usually it's been very natural. It hasn't been having to even actively seek out different organizations because we do give back as soon as we know what we've made from rodeo. That's usually when we give back. And it's not always our volunteers who receive funds when we give back, sometimes because we vote as an association on the different organizations. There's lots of different ways that people can get involved.
Above my pay grade, we can always chalk it up to that too.
Yeah, like that part's a little like, to me, I'm just like, I gather the volunteers, they do everything and we give back. And I'm happy that we do. And that's as much as I know. I was a secretary for a short period of time for the rodeo, but I quickly learned that was not my jam.
No.
Because it's a lot of responsibility as far as communication with all of the different members of the community who are members of the rodeo who have very specific needs that I may or may not have been good at fulfilling.
You led into my next question here. So for folks that want to get involved but don't know how, what's the easiest way? How do they reach out to you?
Yeah, the easiest way would be to come to a membership meeting and meet our president and our secretary, because they'll be right there, and to just talk to them. We have our schedule of our membership meetings on our website, Arizona Gay Rodeo Association or the website is agra-phoenix.com. I'm seeing it right now. But yeah, the AGRA website will have the schedule of our meetings, and you can just come and introduce yourself and say, hey, I just want to know a little more. Or you can send an email. There's lots of email addresses. I think the board members have their emails on there, as well as if you click the volunteer link, you'll get to me and I can send you information. It's really simple. If you want to be an actual member, there's annual dues that I believe are $25, and there's different tiers of membership. So if you want to be a champion member, it's a little more. And then at the end of the year at the banquet, you can bring your friend for free instead of buying a ticket to the banquet. There's little perks like that if you're called a champion member, which is a little higher level tier, but is more of a donation. But that's really it. As soon as you join, you're eligible to compete in rodeo, which you can go to rodeo school at our rodeo and learn some of the events. There's rodeo schools all over the country that you can go to, even if you've never competed and you just want to try. We have a lot of different events that are very beginner friendly. So if you're looking at it from a sportsmanship side, there's that. And if you just want to be someone who is a part of making the rodeo happen, the same thing, membership, that's where you start. And then you go from there. You start going to meetings and events and getting to know everybody and seeing what's available and seeing where you might be able to fill a need.
Very fun. Now, looking ahead at this upcoming rodeo season, which is like right around the corner, what are you personally most excited about?
I'm most excited for the moment when it all starts, the exact moment when everything starts buzzing. I always do this little setup where I'm the first person there and I breathe and I get my place all ready and I get the booth perfect so that it can be really well organized and operate effectively. And then I take a lap through the whole backside of the arena, through all of my different security posts, and make sure that the security posts are ready. And at that moment, I take a little breath. I look at the arena. I say hello to the horses and good morning. And then I get back to my tent. And then usually about 30 minutes later, the first people start arriving. And then from there, it's like a runaway train. And that very beginning moment, like the anticipation and then the release of that happening, like when it first starts, is so exciting and I love it. And the rest of the time it's just smiles and running my ass off all over the rodeo grounds, because that's what I do. I call myself the runner, and I run and go find people who need to be places, go help people, make sure that everything's going smoothly. So yeah, the very beginning when it all starts is my absolute favorite.
Excellent. And when can people expect to join the rodeo this year?
Okay, so we have the official competition, the rodeo competition events happen on Saturday, the February 14th and Sunday the 15th. And the gates open at 8. Competition starts at 10 a.m. and we go until we're done. So some years we end at 5, some years we end at 7. Last year we ended around 8 p.m. on Saturday. So just be aware that we don't know when it's going to end. It ends when it ends. But we know when it starts. It starts at 10 a.m. But we've also got on Friday, we have the dance. So there is a bus that you can sign up for. I'm not sure if it's full yet. It's a free bus to the rodeo grounds on Friday if you want to go to the dance. And that starts around 6 p.m. on Friday, February 13th. But other than that, the actual rodeo event, the big one with all the vendors and all the exciting competition events, that's the 14th and the 15th down at Corona Ranch in Levine, Arizona. And it's going to be super fun. We're super excited.
And where do they get tickets? Do they get them online? Do they get them on site?
You can do either. You can go to the agra-phoenix.com website for your tickets if you want to get them virtually, or you can buy them on site. We can take cash or card. So it's really up to you. Or you can always go to get the party bus tickets from Charlie's. So don't forget about the party bus tickets, because there's a few available, and that is definitely one of the easiest ways. They do charge for parking. I believe it's $10 for parking. We have overflow parking as well, with a golf cart that a volunteer drives back and forth to the main entrance from the overflow parking. And then there's also a park and ride nearby if you want to take public transportation. which some people might opt to do because it's a little simpler for people who do not have their own transportation and don't want to take a party bus. So there's lots of different ways to get to the rodeo, and we hope to see you there.
And now the light rail goes all the way down to Baseline, and then it's probably just a quick bus ride down Baseline.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I live down from the rodeo.
Oh, you do? That's great.
We're down at 16th Street and Baseline, so we're not too far away. So
nice.
Shannon, thank you so very much for doing this today. I really appreciate you taking time to do this out of your busy schedule.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope I didn't babble too much.
No, it's
great.
great.
I hope I got you some good info.
Oh, definitely. Okay.
Thank you.
Another reason we love this community.
I'm Daddy Dave, your friend in the fight to end stigma, and I'm the founder of Team Friendly, here today to talk about pleasure and sexual health. Sexual health prevention is an important aspect of healthcare. It's more than just about assessing your risks and minimizing those risks. Good healthcare is also about recognizing the pleasure you want to get out of your sex life. It's about feeling informed, empowered, and good in your own skin. Pleasure and safety can exist together when we have honest conversations, access to judgment-free healthcare, and respect for ourselves and each other. Choosing a friendly approach to sexual health is important. Find a healthcare clinic where these conversations just flow freely. Ask questions, know your options, desires, and limits, and communicate them openly. Let's live our lives fully with less fear and goals to improve our health.
Pride lives here.
That wraps up another episode of the GayPHX Podcast. That was our conversation about the gay rodeo. And if there's a thing to take with you, it's this. Gay rodeo isn't just an event. It's a tradition built on service, leadership, and chosen family. And it's happening this weekend. And if you've never been, this is your invitation. Come as you are. Be curious. There is space for you there. And as we move through Black History Month, we carry forward Audre Lorde's reminder that community doesn't happen by accident. It's something that we build together again and again. So thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for being a part of this community. Because what we do have is connection. We have shared stories, shared spaces, and a community that keeps choosing each other. We'll see you next week. We love you, Phoenix.
We're together, the sun is bright, and there's nowhere better than by your side. We're together, the sun is bright, and there's nowhere better than by your side.
Thanks for hanging out with the GayPHX Podcast. Be kind. Be bold. Be you.